live. Hello everyone, and welcome to my messy OBS screen. Oh man, I completely forgot that you would show everything that's on this screen, including everything about YouTube. That's fun. Let's do this real quick. Don't mind that. Let me just move some things over to a different screen. Let me just minimize that. Let's also minimize you. If you're curious, the music happening in the background is all, let's see, I don't need to watch myself. Actually I do for a little bit, but let's move that over here. I doubt anyone's gonna drop by. I don't really know what time it is. I haven't really paid attention to the clock in about like 4 or 5 hours. Maybe, IDK. 4:14, it's pretty early. So this is gonna be a different stream. I'm not gonna be doing any real gaming this episode. Oh my god, hi, hello, holy shit. Say hello to my little friend. Am I really orange? I feel like I'm super orange. Where you're gonna get streamception. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Alright, we're gonna move you over here. So yeah, like I said, this isn't gonna be like a gaming stream. So if you wanna watch that, come back a different day. Right now it's a little bit sporadic because of all the shit that's happening in my life. But once things sort of settle down and I get like a desk and shit, it'll be a little bit better. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing character creation for a new D&D campaign that I'm doing in a few, in a week. Literally in a week. So I should have had this done yesterday, and I've had this in my head, but the thing is that I'm doing a few campaigns. I'm playing in, obviously, Storm King's Thunder, which you should check out later today at 7:30 Central Time, so 8:30 Eastern Time. I'm not going to be streaming it, but it'll be over on twitch.tv/graybeardtavern, and Gray with an E, like the name, and twitch.tv/Sirlucian if you're looking for the DM's perspective. I play that on those days. On Thursdays, now every other Thursday, I'm going to be playing in a campaign called the Black Door campaign, another D&D campaign. And on Saturday mornings, I play a different D&D campaign at 9 a.m. Central Time, so 10 a.m. Eastern Time, if you're interested in any of that. So for Shadowrun, that game started when the hurricane happened. So I didn't really get to finish making my character, so I've been playing catch up and reading that unbelievably detailed amount. Like, Shadowrun is basically like a cyberpunk version of D&D, and there are so many things you can do in it, and so many items and things you can use and modifications to your body. There's different versions of the world. There's like the regular world, and there's an alternative reality world, and there's the Matrix, which is the cyber world. There are different ways you can interact with all of those worlds, and I'm playing a hacker, so I need to know all of them. And it's like a whole thing. You can rig cars. There's a lot of information that needs to go into my head, and I haven't like finished buying all my things. I really had a time because I've been reading. I've been trying to figure out anyways, point is that I've tried to put my brain into Shadowrun mode, and like this campaign was about to start next week, and so a new Discord got started, and I got super hyped about it, and so my brain has been in like a hybrid right now of like D&D information and hey Glammy, hey hola JD. So I've been in like a Shadowrun D&D hybrid mindset right now. So apologies for all of that. So as you can see here, I have this untitled document because I need to write up a summary of this character, and I know a little bit about this character, but I can't really type while looking at you or looking even decent. You get to see a nice profile shot as I type over here to do stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Google Docs, and I'm going to use my tablet over here to type stuff in. So as we wait for this all to happen, to all load up over here, let's click on edit, and I should be able to just type stuff in right now. There you go. See, you're seeing me type things in. So that's what we're going to be doing today, along with some character creation stuff. So I have my character sheet for Roll20 up here. If I go down here and I click on this, you'll see my PDFs up. I have Volo's, the Revised Ranger, Primeval Guardian, Sword Coast stuff, and Player's Handbook stuff. So I have everything set up because, like I said, I have an idea of what I want to do for this character. So for this campaign, this is going to be... I know, Shadowrun is pretty cool. So, one thing before we start. I need to share a link. I need to tweet this out. I forgot I had this up, so I can close that window. All right. So for this campaign, this is going to be a campaign that's not a good campaign. It's not a we are fighting evil and defeating all the bad things and we will be heroes type of deal. This is going to be a I'm greedy, I want power, I want money, and I'm going to do that in legal and illegal manners. Though, you know, I'm going to try and make the powers that be not too angry about it. It's going to be one of those campaigns. There's going to be a lot of... I'm assuming some political intrigue. I'm sure there's going to be so much merchanty stuff because we're going to be probably setting up our own deals. This is called Dark Tides. I don't know how much information I can give you. We're play testing it out for my friend who wrote it. And so yeah, I think that's all the information. We are going to be people working for a merchant company that's up and coming. And it's starting in basically the wild, wild west of D&D, the southern coast of the Sword Coast. And we are setting up in this like real fucked up part of the world, which is so exciting. And our characters have been in the company for a little bit, but we've been part-time and now we're about to become full-fledged members, I think. So that's where we are. Oh, there's a couple of questions I have to answer. I should probably put those up also. Hey, look, it's Discord and now it's gone. Let's see, let's go over here. Somewhere around here, I know, oh, maybe it's over here. Nope, not there. Oh God. Oh, here we go. Let me copy paste these things over onto my other page where I have the rest of the information. So these are, I don't know how well you're going to be able to read these, TBH. So the things, like the parameters for our character and the game mechanics for character creation is we're all starting at level 1 with 0 experience. Okay. So our character ability stats are determined by rolling a standard set or customizing variant. These options can be found on page 12 to 13 of the PHB. However, the way we're going to do it is the standard variation is it 14, 13, 12, 10, 10, 8? I think it's something like that. I don't know it off the top of my head. Or you could roll 4 dice 6 and drop the lowest number and that'll be your number. And I think there's a point buy system, but I'm not terribly certain. I've only ever used the latter two. All right. So, or the prior two. I guess it's both the latter and the prior. Anyways. So, after racial adjustments, no attribute may be below 8. The company has standards. So any of our numbers would be bumped up. I've already done all of that. Characters receive maximum hit points the first level. Subsequent levels players roll. Blah, 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 blah. All right. So I've already rolled. And we can see over here, I've already arranged my stats. So I rolled a 13, a 10, a 16, 13, 13, 12. So this is without any racial additives on it. I haven't done any of that. I usually like to write stuff down so I just know what these numbers used to be. And I have them on my tablet. Let's see. Let me move over here because I accidentally closed my dashboard. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm pretty excited about it, Glammy. Pretty excited about it. I wish I can have this on this screen, but I can't. Do I need you anything else? Nope. So we will look at the second part of that character creation in a moment because right now we have to fill out this character sheet. So I've already done the point by, I've already rolled. I rolled pretty okay. By the way, music that's playing is Argofox Gaming, I believe. It is a, let's see, is it Argofox? Yeah, it's Argofox Gaming. You can look at it over here. And now it's gone. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, well. So Yeah, it's by Argofox. It's called Argofox Gaming. It's all copyright free. It's pretty sweet. It has a sort of chill vibe the entire time. Hopefully it's not too loud. All right, so we get to see. I don't know what my saving throws are. So all that fine. That's all fine. Okay, so what I'm going to be choosing, I'm pretty set on it, and I think I am going to choose it. But what I'm going to choose is a Furbulg, which I like to call Firebulg. Si hicieras un videojuego, ¿cómo te gustaría que fuera? The question is, if I were to make a video game, how would I want it? What I want it to be? JD, to answer your question, I would want to do. Me gustaría hacer un. Yo creo que me gustaría hacer un RPG, un role-playing game. Como Skyrim o Oblivion, lo que no sabes lo que es, o Dragon Age o algo así, pero más como Mass Effect. He jugado los 3 juegos de Mass Effect y me encantan. Mis favoritos juegos, yo creo, desde Skyrim Oblivion. Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Me encantó Mass Effect y nunca he hallado un juego como esos juegos desde que han salido. Tenía una historia tan interesante y un mundo muy interesante que es una de mis favoritas partes de jugar juegos. Dice, yo creo un juego un poco más así. Como un hybrid de Mass Effect 1 y Mass Effect 3, me gustaría eso. Que Mass Effect 1 empezó algo grande en el mundo de juegos y Mass Effect 3 trajo, era de su tiempo. Trajo muchas cosas que ya habían avanzado en juegos. Dice, entre esos dos yo creo que sería bueno. And my English speakers, I would want to make another Mass Effect series, but a game series like Mass Effect. I love RPG games, and I played Mass Effect 1 through 3, and I absolutely loved it. I love the story. The world building is the best world building I've seen in a game in a long time. I would dare to say it's better than Dragon Age. It was just so unbelievably compelling and had so much heart and emotion, and I was so attached, and I've never wanted to play a game a second time as much as I did Mass Effect, and I did. Except I don't really like Mass Effect 2. It's not my favorite game, so I'm almost done with Mass Effect 2, but I would love to go into Mass Effect 3. Like, I looked up guides. I wanted to know everything about it. So I would create a different Mass Effect game if the budget were there, because those cost so much money to make. If not some sort of platformer, though, I'm not good at designing platform games. Anyway, so back to this. So I'm going to go with the Furbulg, right? So for those of you who know nothing about the Furbulg, don't worry, I have the pages here. I will zoom in as much as possible, and I will read it. So the Furbulg... So Furbulg tribes cloister in remote forest strongholds, preferring to spend their days in quiet harmony with the woods. When provoked, Firebulgs demonstrate formidable skills with weapons and druidic magic. So humble guardians, Firebulgs love nothing more than the peaceful days spent among the trees of an old forest. They see forests as sacred places representing the heart of the world and monuments to the durability of life. In their roles as caretakers, Firebulgs live off the land while striving to remain in balance with nature. Their methods reflect common sense and remarkable resourcefulness. During a bountiful summer, they store away excess nuts and fruits and berries. When winter arrives, they scatter everything that they can spare to ensure the animals of the wood survive until springtime. In the Firebulg's eyes, there is no greater fault than greed. The Firebulgs believe that the world remains healthiest when each creature takes only what it needs. Material goods, especially precious gems and gold, have little appeal to them. What use are such things when winter lingers and food runs short? Natural druids. Firebulgs have a talent for druidic magic. Their cultural reverence for nature combined with the strong and insightful minds, making learning such magic an instinctive part of their development. Almost every Firebulg learns a few spells, typically those used to mask their presence, and many go on to master nature magic. Firebulgs who become druids serve as stronghold leaders. With every action the tribe takes, the druids weigh not only the group's needs, but the effect each action will have on the forest and the rest of the natural world. Firebulg tribes would rather go hungry than strain the land during a famine. Hidden shepherds. As caretakers of the land, firebolgs prefer to remain out of sight and out of mind. They don't try to dominate nature, but rather seek to ensure that it prospers and survives according to its laws. Firebolgs use their magic to keep their presence in the forest secret. This approach allows them to avoid the politics and struggle of elves, humans, and orcs. Such events concern the firebolgs only when the events affect the forest. Scrolling up. Even in the face of an intrusion, firebolgs prefer a subtle, gentle approach to prevent damage to their territory. They employ their magic to make the forest an unappealing place to explore by temporarily diverting springs, driving away game, stealing critical tools, and altering trails to leave hunting or lumber parties hopelessly lost. The firebolg's presence is marked by an absence of animals and a strange quiet, as if the forest wishes to avoid attracting attention to itself. The faster travelers decide to move on, the better. If these tactics fail, the firebolg take a more direct action. Their observations of a settlement determine what happens next. If the outsiders seem peaceful, the firebolgs approach and gently ask them to leave, even offering food and other supplies to aid their departure. If those who insist on remaining respect nature, take only what they need, and live in harmony with the wood, firebolgs explore the possibility of friendship with them, as long as the outsiders vow to safeguard the forest. If the settlers clearly display evil intentions, however, the firebolg marshal their strength and magic for a single overwhelming attack. Outcast adventurers. As guardians of the wood, few firebolgs would dream of leaving their homes or attempting to fit into human society. An exiled firbolg. I'm trying to remember if I've been pronouncing correctly or not. An exiled firbolg, or one whose clan has been destroyed, might not have a choice in the matter. Most adventuring firbolg fall into this latter category. Outcast firbolg can never return home. They committed some unforgivable deed, usually something that put their homeland at risk, such as starting a forest fire or killing a rare and beautiful wild creature. These firbolgs are loners who wander the world in hope of finding a new place to call home. Orphan firbolg are those whose clan or homelands had been destroyed. They become crusaders for nature, seeking to avenge their loss and prevent the future destruction of the natural world. A few rare firbolg are entrusted by their clan with an important mission that take them beyond their homes. These firbolg feel the pilgrims in a strange land, and usually they wish only to complete their quest and return home as quickly as possible. The Firbolg Adventurers table can serve as an inspiration for determining why a firbolg character leaves home. Alright, I already know what I'm going to do here, but we're going to keep on keeping on. Firbolg names. Firbolg adopt elven names when they must deal with outsiders, although the concept of names strikes them as strange. They know the animals and plants of the forest without formal names, and instead identify the forest child by their deeds, habits, and other actions. By the same token, their tribe names merely refer to their homes. When dealing with other races, Firbolg refer to their lands by whatever name the surrounding folk use. As a matter of tact and hospitality, but among their own kind they simply call it home. Sometimes Firbolg adopt the nicknames or titles outsiders give them under the assumption that those who need names can call them whatever they wish. Firbolg traits. So they have an increased wisdom of 2 and an increased strength of 1. They can live up to 500 years and they reach adulthood around 30, and they're related to Fae. So that's why they're so long-lived. Alignment. As people who follow the rhythm of nature and see themselves as caretakers, Firbolgs are typically neutral good. Evil Firbolg are rare and usually are sworn enemies of the rest of their kind, which is going to be the most interesting part about playing this character. Size. Firbolg are between 7 and 8 feet tall and weigh between 240 and 300 pounds, and their size is medium. So they're giants, essentially. Speed. Their base walking speed is about 330 feet, so the norm. Again, the other interesting parts of Firbolgs is their magic, as we read before. So they can detect magic and disguise self. They can only do that once a... Oh, you can't hear it? You can't hear the music? No! Where are you playing to, then? Is it too low for you? Oh, maybe it's too low over here. You know, that might be it. That's probably it. I have it super low over here because I usually play it. Oh, that hurt my ear. That hurt my ear a lot. Can you guys hear it now? Let's see. Hopefully you can hear it now. Oh my god, yeah. Holy shit. It probably hurt your ears also. There you go, guys. Music! Let's see. Oh, sweet. Lucian, can't wait to see it. Your Battle Master, you're going to be sorely disappointed. I was going to go fighter, but I changed my mind. Maybe later, but I'm just... We need a healer. My number one idea is just that we need someone to use their abilities to heal. I hope... Okay, you have to let me know. I'm awful at figuring out how loud music is because it's way loud in my ears, but not for you guys. So just let me know. Anything else over here that I missed? Oh, nope. Scroll too far. Scrolling too far. Yeah, we need a healer. That's my number one thing. We need somebody to be able to be like, hey, you're hurt. Heal. So that's my number one reason why. Because I need to be the tank also. But I'm finding it very difficult. We'll talk about it later. Let's finish this. So Furbolg magic. So they can detect magic and disguise self with this trait using wisdom as my spellcasting ability. Once I cast either spell, you can't cast it again with this trait until, get this, a short or long rest. So that's amazing. That's so fightery. Fighters get everything back after a short rest. Let's see. You can't cast it again with this trait. When you use this version of Disguise Self, you can seem up to 3 feet shorter than normal, allowing you to more easily blend in with humans and elves, which I think is fucking amazing. Hidden Step. So as a bonus action, I can magically turn invisible until the start of my next turn, or until I attack, make a damage roll, or force someone to make a saving throw. Once I use this, again, short or long rest. Powerful build, you count as one size larger when determining your carrying capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift. Speech of Beast and Leaf. I just think this one's hilarious. I love it. It's my favorite, it's one of my favorite things. You have the ability to communicate in a limited manner with beasts and plants. They can understand the meaning of your words, though you have no special ability to understand them in return. You have advantage on all advantage on all charisma checks I make to try and influence them. I think that's fucking amazing. It's one of my favorite things. Like, I'm gonna talk to a plant. Like, I cannot wait. Languages, I get Common, Elvish, and Giant. Is there anything else interesting here? Here's a Furbolg, if you've never seen one. They're cute, adorable little guys. I can't wait to describe to you my ideas on my Furbolg. Let's see. Furbolgs. Most Furbolgs are druids, rangers, or fighters. Among their kind, these vocations are passed down from one generation to the next. The Furbolg's magical heritage also expresses itself in other ways. Those who become bards preserve the clan's lore. Furbolgs, sorcerers, defender communities, Furbolg wizards arise when they... Oh my god. Hi, hello there. Hold on. I'm not listening to this. You can play ad, but I'm not listening to it. Those who become bards preserve the clan's lore. For defender communities, Furbolg wizards arise when the clan becomes friendly with elves. Furbolg rogues are typically scouts tasked with spying on neighboring folk to determine their intentions. They are most common among Furbolgs who I just got a text message wasn't important. Whose homes border human settlements. Furbolg barbarians are rare except among clans that face constant dread from evil humanoids and other invaders. Furbolg clerics and paladins are usually dedicated to nature gods and are seen as enforcers of that god's will. Furbolg warlocks are rare, but some clans forge alliances and arcane pacts with powerful fae beings. Furbolg monks are almost entirely unheard of, though a monastery might take in the young survivors of devastated Furbolg clans. All right, the next one is that. So we're gonna go with a Furbolg. I just think, like, mostly my favorite one is the Speech of Beast and Life. I'm not gonna lie, that really sold me on the idea of playing this character, because it's very easy, I think, to get stuck on making it's +2, right? So +2 to wisdom is going to throw me to a 15. My phone is just fucking going off right now. Oh my god. All right, moving on, and +1 to strength. So let's move that up. So yeah, it's really easy to just go dark and broody and angry, especially with like the ideas I have for this character. So I I I I really want a reason to not play such a dark character, especially with the other stuff. So before we get to the other stuff, the fun stuff, the backstory stuff, and the rest of the character creation, we need to finish all the number crunching stuff. So we have now our 1-ups. Let's see, my speed is now 30. Did I click on the 3? I did not. I pushed enter. Oh, my life. 30. Let's see, anything interesting happening over here? Nope. All right, we can now play this. All right. Cool. Let's see, Volo's guide. My age and all of that. My age is going to be. Let's write this in. So this is going to be a Furbolg. My alignment is going to be something not good, but we're just going to leave it there. It's either going to be neutral something or something evil, or maybe neutral evil. Who knows? We're going to leave it like that though. Anything else interesting here? Current hit points, we can't do that right now. Let's see. And I don't get any of this by being a Furbolg. I think we are done. I will fill in all the other stuff later. All the extra cool stuff I get. Yeah, the rest of that I'll get later because I have to type that in or drag it in. And right now I'm on a different tab. All right, so that is my race that I'm picking. All right, we're going Furbolg, which I'm going to try my damnedest to say Furbolg and not Firebolg because I didn't finish reading the word the first time I read it and I thought it said Firebolg. So I keep calling it Firebolg. Apparently that's not what it's called. So my class I'm going Ranger. So why am I going Ranger, you ask, PB? Because you already play a Ranger in Storm King's Thunder. Why aren't you trying something else? Well, gentle viewer, I am going Ranger because I've wanted to play a Ranger that's melee for a very long time. It's just, you know, Ian from Storm King's Thunder did not have that stat array, and we sort of needed. We sort of need that. We sorely need that. So I decided to go this, and also because I'm comfortable with it. Like, I know how to play a fighter, but I've already played a tank fighter. And even though that was a short campaign, I'm not very interested in playing a fighter, like just a straight fighter. Let's see. And because there's a cool subclass that I saw when the UA came out ages ago, and it's caught my eye and I really want to do it. All right, so I'm going Ranger. Now I'm going to go with the revised Ranger because all these because it's just better. Sword Coast revised Ranger is just better, and I think it's agreed by most people in the world that it's not overpowered. It's what it should have been. There are just a couple of things that are a little OP that I'll probably do the same thing I do in Storm King's Thunder to balance out. The most important changes, for those of you who have never read the revised one, is the way favorite enemy works. Favorite enemy, you get it at first level and you get another one at 6th level. So at first level, you get +2 damage to damage rolls with weapon attacks against whatever your favorite enemy is. And, the other things you get for favorite enemy. But the important thing is that they're separated now. So you have the weak enemies and the, strong enemies. So your weak enemies, you get beast, fae, humanoids, monstrosities, and undead for first level. And at 6th level, you get greater favorite enemy. So you get a +4 to all your favorite enemies now. And you get now you are big boys. So you get aberrations, celestials, constructs, dragons, elementals, fiends, and giants. Things you usually see at higher levels unless you're playing Storm King's Thunder and you see giants from level 1. No, it was a little bit later than late. It was 3rd level? Let's see. And you also get advantage on saving throws and abilities, regular stuff. Is Lucian still in here? Lucian is that weird thing that they do, the trembly floor thing. Is that an ability that that's used by them? Would that count as an ability? I mean, I'm never close enough to a giant to fall down, but if I did, this would be nice to know. Oh, primeval awareness is different. It no longer uses a spell slot. It just is now. And it's pretty cool. You can read about it. It's free. The UA is free. So what we need to know, and what I need to know, is all of this stuff, all this fun stuff. So oh my god, I have to pick a favorite enemy. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh man. So let's go little by little first. So we need, our hit die is going to be a D10. Isn't there a thing somewhere around here that tells them what my race is going to be? So I just don't have to write all of this in. Oh, here we go. There it is. So I don't have to really worry about some of those numbers. All right, so I'm only going to have one hit die to start with. Current hit points. What did it say it was? I shouldn't be touching it's a really bad habit of mine. Let's see. It is 10 plus my con. 10 plus my con, which is 3, so I'm going to be at 13 hit points to start with. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm at 1. 1 is my maximum. 13. There we go. All right. Anything else on here? Oh, nope. Here we go. Let's see. I have proficiencies. I'll write that in later. I don't have any tools. Strength and dexterity, or it's already filled in for me. Okay, so now for my skills, I get to choose 3. From animal handling, I'll make this bigger for you guys. I get to choose 3 from animal handling, athletics, insight, investigation, nature, perception, stealth, survival. All right, so before I answer any of that, we have to go over here and we have to go to my background. So the background I'm choosing is from the SCAG, from Sword Coast Adventures Online. Nope, that was a lie. I turned around and my brain went online. It is the Sword Coast Adventurers Guide, or the SCAG, as it's lovingly called within the community. So I'm going to go with Mercenary Veteran. So a Mercenary Veteran is a sellsword who fought battles for coin. You're well acquainted with risking life and limb for a chance at a share of treasure. Now you look forward to fighting foes and reaping even greater rewards as an adventurer. Your experience makes you familiar with the ins and outs of mercenary life, and you likely have harrowing stories of events on the battlefield. You might have served with a large outfit such as the Zentarum or soldiers of Mintarn, or a small band of sellswords, maybe even more than one. See Mercenaries of North in the sidebar for a collection of possibilities. Now you're looking for something else, perhaps greater reward for the risk you take or a freedom to choose your own activities. Okay, that's fine. For whatever reason, you're leaving behind the life of a soldier for hire, but your skills are undeniably suited for battle, so now you fight on in a different way. So the feature you get is you know the mercenary life as only someone who has experienced it can. You know the mercenary life as only someone who has experienced it can. You are able, that's why English is so fucking difficult, man. You guys don't do anything to emphasize words. You are able to identify mercenary companies by their emblems, and you know a little about any such company, including the names and reputations of its commanders and leaders, and who has hired them recently. You can find the taverns and fest halls where mercenaries abide in any area as long as you speak the language. You can find mercenary work between adventurers sufficient to maintain comfortable lifestyle. See practicing a profession under downtown activities in Chapter 8 of the Player's Handbook. Alright, so suggested characteristics are using the tables for the soldier's background in the PHB, or the Player's Handbook, as the basis for your traits and motivations, modifying the entries when appropriate to suit your identity as a mercenary. Your bond can be associated with the company you traveled with previously or with some of the comrades you served with. The ideal you embrace largely depends on your worldview and your motivation for fighting. All right, so that's all fun and stuff, and we'll talk about that later, but what we need is this. This is the important part. The skills proficiencies, tool proficiencies, and equipment. So For a mercenary veteran, you get athletics and persuasion, which is why it's important. So I don't have to worry about athletics anymore. One type of gaming set, vehicles on land, a uniform of your company's company, of my old company, traveler's clothes and in quality, an insignia of my rank, a gaming set of my choice, a pouch containing the remainder of my last wages, which is 10 gold pieces. All right, so athletics and persuasion are the important parts of this. So let's go athletics and persuasion. All right, so now that we have that, we'll visit that in a second. We need to go back here. And now I get to choose from these three. So we already have athletics down, done. So I'm going to go survival for one of them for sure. And I'm going to be the tank. I'm going to be in front. So I need... Should I go survival, insight, perception? I feel like that might be... Take cards. I play Tonk. I'm probably going to go cards. I usually always go cards. Let's see. I think insight, perception, survival. I know for sure survival because that just fits with the backstory that we haven't discussed yet. I'm sort of thinking nature, but I only get to choose 3 of these. Oh, this one has words. I have to turn this one down a little bit. It's a little bit harder to listen to that one because it's in my same range. So you might think I'm speaking or we're cross-talking is what it'll sound like. So survival gives me... What does survival give me? Survival gives me checks on just understanding the world around me. Nature gives me specifically an understanding on checks about the natural world around me. So whether that be beasts that we encounter, insight. Animal handling might be nice, but I have like basic animal handling in that ability I have as a furbolg. Like some of these are sort of built in some ways, but I don't think DMs would take it that way. So I don't think I want stealth. I can go invisible anyways. And I'm not going to be that sort of player. If we need stealth, we can just, refer to our rogue. Let's see. I can go... I already have athletics down. Stealth I'm not going to use. Perception would be nice, but not necessary. Let's see. And we have a mage character, a magic character, and we're going to have an artificer. Spoiler alert. So we have a rogue, an artificer, a mage, and then me, a ranger. So I can hope our rogue is going to take perception, but I'm probably going to be in the front, so I should probably take perception. So I'm going to take perception for sure. Okay, perception for sure. I've decided we're taking perception. All right, done. Done and done. So now it's going to be harder for people to get a drop on me. So the next one is going to be survival or nature. I think just survival might just... I don't think I've ever made a nature check. In the year and a half, I've been doing the past year that I've been playing an outdoor character, like a ranger, and mainly not being in cities. I don't think I've ever used nature. So I think survival is going to be the more useful one. And like I said, I have just basic nature skills as a furbolg. All right, so that's 2. We need 1 more. So insight just lets me know. I think that just might be useful for the campaign in general. So I'll go insight also. And that'll move up because I'm also probably going to try and up my wisdom. Maybe. I don't know. All right. So that is that. So I did saving throws. I did skills. I wish I could get con as one of my saving throws, not gonna lie, but strength and dexterity are pretty nice if I'm gonna be up in front. Yeah, and see, I can talk to plants and animals in the way that I talk to them, and they make a decision off of what I said, because they'll talk back to me, but I don't know what they're saying. So I think survival would just be the more useful one in general. God, that's a real quick ad that I just got there. It's only been 40 minutes and I've gotten 2. So yeah, I think I'm going to go survival, perception, and insight. I think those are the 3 I'm going to go with, because I already got athletics and persuasion. And I think that'll be nice. I'm a little bit above average in charisma. Let's see. So, starting equipment, scale mail, leather armor. Probably going to go scale mail. Because I have a low dex, so I'll probably go scale mail. I think that's a 12 to start with. 11? I can't remember. 2 short, but I do have disadvantage in stealth, which honestly, my character could probably care less. Couldn't care less, sorry. 2 short swords or 2 simple melee weapons. That would be pretty badass, though. I have to see what melee weapons are simple at a later date, but I guarantee you it's going to be something cool. Dungeoneer pack, explorers pack, probably going to go explorers. And a longbow and a quiver, 20 arrows, because that's what every good ranger needs. All right, so I need a favorite enemy. I don't even think about this. So maybe let's continue on with now what my subclass I'm planning to go on is, and picking out my backstory so you guys sort of understand where my motivations for some of these things are. So I'm going to go the UA Unearthed Arcana for those of you who don't understand what I'm saying. The Unearthed Arcana Primeval Guardian. So Primeval Guardian is... Hopefully this person doesn't talk. I'm just going to hope, you know? So Primeval Guardian is... I'll just read it. Rangers of the Primeval Guardian Conclave follow an ancient tradition rooted in powerful druidic magic. These rangers learn to become one with nature, allowing them to channel the aspects of various beasts and plants in order to overcome their foes. These rangers dwell in the elder forests of the world. They venture out only rarely, and they consider it their sacred duty to protect the druidic groves and ancient trees that saw the earliest of days. Guardian magic, which would be fun to play if it ever comes into play in the thing. So guardian magic, starting at third level, you learn an additional spell when you reach certain levels in this class, as shown in the Primeval Guardian spells table. I'm trying to decide if that's how you pronounce primeval, or it's primeval, or some weird ass shit. English. I'm so upset about it. The spell counts as a ranger spell for you, and it doesn't count against the number of ranger spells you know, which is beautiful. So at 3rd level, you learn Entangle, which is a beautiful spell. At 5th, you get Enhance ability, Conjure Animals. At 9th, Giant Insect at 13th, and 17th, you get Insect Plague. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to go past 7th level in this character, but we'll see. Let's see. So, well, not this character, but this subclass and this class. So Guardian Soul, starting at 3rd level, I gain the ability to temporarily grow. This is the cool part. And this is what will help me become the tank. Temporarily grow and take on the appearance of a tree-like person covered with leaves and bark. As a bonus action, you assume this guardian form, which lasts until you end it as a bonus action or until you are incapacitated. The lack of detail there is a little bit wishy-washy on how often I can use this. You undergo the following changes while you're in your guardian form. I feel like it's always, because I mean at 3rd level you get your always skill, right? Normally. So I can just use this whenever the fuck I want. Your size becomes large unless you were large. You were larger. Any speed you have becomes 5 feet unless the speed was lower. Your reach increases by 5 feet. You gain a number of temporary hit points at the start of each of your turns. The number equals half your ranger level. When the form ends, you lose any temporary hit points you have from it. So really the downfall is the fact that, you know, I can only move 5 feet at a time. But honestly, if you're a fighter, you sort of want to be in the fray or the tank, and I can drop it as a bonus action anyways. And then on my subsequent turn, use it again if necessary. Because all it does is and it increases my range to hit, so I can hit anybody 10 feet around me, which is nice. Let's see, Piercing Thorn. At 3rd level, your command of primal magic allows you to enhance your attacks with thorns. Once during each of your turns, you can deal an additional 1d6 piercing damage to one creature you hit with a weapon attack. So when you hit, I get to add a 1d6 once per turn damage, which is nice. That is pretty nice, if I do say so myself. Because it's just an aside. If you're ever wondering, how do I do more damage in this game of D&D? You have to add more die you roll. The more dice you roll, the higher the chance you have to hit hard. Of course, you're up to, probability, but you have a higher chance, because if you roll 1d12, you can hit between 1 and 12. Now, if you hit that 12, that's badass. It's better than rolling a 1 die 6 or 1 die 8 or even a die 10, But if you have only that 1 die 12, you can roll a 1. And suddenly your damage is only that 1 plus all your modifiers instead of that 12. So it's a huge gamble. Now, if you were to roll 2d6s, now, of course, you can roll a 2, 1 die on both of them, or a 1 on both of them, or you can roll a 6 on both of them and get a die 12. Or on average, when you roll a die 6, your average is 3 on 1, right? So that means you average 3 on each one, which means you'll roll higher and lower, and you'll have a higher chance of... And you'll never roll a 1. You'll never roll a 1. You will always roll a 2 or above if you have 2 die 6. Which is the nice part, while having the same maximum. And the same can be said, you can have now a d8 to that, or 2 d8s. And it's the more die you roll, the higher the chance you'll hit hard. So that's just an aside. If you're ever wondering, how do I hit harder? Find things that'll give you more dice to roll. That's the loophole in D&D. As hard as I've tried to balance it, the way you can unbalance it is by getting more dice to roll, as I found in my experience. Let's see. At level 7, you get Ancient Fortitude, which at 7th level, you can channel the endurance of the Ancient Forest. When you assume your Guardian form, you can increase your hit point maximum and current hit points by 2 per ranger level. This increase lasts until you leave the form. Your hit point maximum then returns to normal, but your current hit points remain the same, unless they must decrease to abide by your hit point maximum. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. My brain just flipped those two. Again, like the Furbolg, I get everything back on a short rest. Maybe I should have been. Maybe I will add just fighter on top of this just to cheese the short system. I was thinking about it. I'm still considering it. We'll see. I have a long time until I get to multi-classing. So, and that's why I don't think I'll leave Ranger until 7th level for sure. If we get that far. So it's because... If you guys didn't catch that while I was just saying it. So whenever I get into the Guardian form, which is my true huge form, I increase my hit point maximum, which is important. My hit point maximum, not my temp hit points, which I will still be getting, but my hit point maximum and the current hit points by 2 per ranger level. So at least by 14 at 7th level, which gives me 14 extra points at 7th level in my primeval form. Okay, so that's super important. That means if somebody heals me in that form and I stay in that form, I will stay at that hit point maximum and it's there forever. And when I leave, again, important, that increase lasts until I leave the form. Your hit point maximum then returns to normal, but your current hit points remain the same. So if I had, let's say, 50 points as my hit point, and then I get an extra 14, that means when in primeval form, I get 64 points for my hit point maximum. If they hit me down back to 50 and somebody heals me while still in that form, I will go back up until I hit 64. All right, so that means I have this huge buffer along with this temporary hit point dealio, where I get temporary hit points at the start of each of my turns. Again, downside, can't move really in this form. That's half of my ranger level, so I will get an extra 3 points every beginning of my turn that are temporary hit points, along with these 14 points. Okay, so you can see where it would be nice to be a tank in this case, although you have to wait until level 7 until you do this. And then if I get knocked, if I use my bonus action to leave this form because I need to move, then I will become, how do I say this? Then my hit point maximum hits back down to 50. But if I only had 55 out of 64 points in my hit points, I still go down to 50. So effectively, it's a meat shield it's a leaf bark shield that allows me to have that wiggle room, which again, not as OP as the Barbarian's Rage, which you get at what, level 2, level 1, which gives you all half damage. So, call OP all you want, but Barbarians have half damage since they start. That is their life, since they're born. So, I read a lot of people thinking this was very OP, but it's really not. Because, it's a thing. Moving on. The next one would be Rooted Defense, which at 11th level, I get the ability to twist and turn the ground below me, and while I'm in my Guardian form, the ground within 30 feet of me is difficult terrain for my enemies, so they move slower, which means, so say the character can only walk 30 feet per turn, unless they dash. This means that they only move 15 feet away from me, which means if they're at my maximum reach of 10, that means, and I can only move 5 feet, that means they won't get that far away from me in the next turn. And I could just continuously chase them because it's 30 feet around me. While I'm in my Guardian form, no need to do anything, which is pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. But by 11th level, I feel like I would have found a way to min-max how I maneuver around the fight at that point. But don't get me wrong, hilarious. And at 15th level, my Guardian form emanates a magical aura that fortifies my injured allies. When an ally starts their turn within 30 feet of my Guardian form, that ally regains a number of hit points equal to half of my Ranger level. This aura has no effect on a creature that has half or more of its hit points, and it has no effect on undead and constructs. So, I mean, that's nice. If they're within 30 feet of me, that's nice. Because that means they will get back 7 points at the beginning of their turns. Which is nice. But at 15th level, I don't know how significant 7 points will be, But we'll see. We will see. The game has to play out. My idea is to go into Paladin. Okay, my idea is to go into Paladin because my character is going to be very angry, which helps me segue into our next deal, which is the player's handbook. So it told us to go into Soldier, and we've looked at this in the fact that we're going to choose this, right? Suggested characteristics. Sorry, this. So suggested characteristics, if you've never read the player's handbook, here you go. The horrors of war combined with the rigid discipline of military service leave their mark on all soldiers, shaping their ideals, creating strong bonds, here we go, and often leaving them scarred and vulnerable to fear, shame, and hatred. So I get to choose, I believe it is 2 personality traits, 1 ideal, 1 bond, and 1 flaw is usually how you go. Again, all suggested. These are just suggested characteristics, which I like. I really like it. It gives just you an idea of what you want to do, and it's going to help shape what I want to do. So I'm choosing number 2. I'm haunted by memories of war, and I can't get the images of violence out of my mind. All right. So I'm just going to pick these before I tell you what WTF, right? Oh, no, not that. Here we go. We're just going to copy paste that. Next, we are going to get, I guess I'll read them for those of you who aren't looking. So number 1 is, I'm always polite and respectful. I'm not. Number 2, I'm haunted by memories of war. I can't get the images of violence out of my mind, which I'm picking. Number 3, I've lost too many friends and I'm slow to make new ones. Doesn't matter to me. Number 4, I'm full of inspiring cautionary tales from my military experience relevant to almost every combat situation. I'm not picking that. Number 5, I can stare down a hellhound without flinching, which I think is the one I was going to pick. Number 6, I enjoy being strong and like breaking things, which I don't. Number 7, I have a crude sense of humor, which I do, but I'm not picking it. Number 8, I face problems head on. A simple, direct solution is the best path to success, which I'm not going to pick. So I'm going to pick number 5. I can stare down a hellhound without flinching, which I feel really goes with I'm haunted by memories of war and I can't get the images of violence out of my mind. I think it just really lends itself to that, you know? And shout out to Lucian for helping me out there. For helping me out. Oh, I didn't realize my music was off. There you go. I mean, I'm hearing it, but it's just very quiet. Let's see. So let's go back to this. And that's going to be my next one. So let's fix this so it doesn't look ugly. And it's not taking up unnecessary space. There we go. Boop. Boop. Yep. I can stare down a hellhound without flinching. So that's, let's push this button. Boop. I know that it's very small. Let's see. Can I just... Oh, too much. Too much. One too far. Go back. Here we go. I should have probably done that at the beginning, but I needed to see everything. This is very loud in my ear. That's probably perfect for you guys, though. I'm going to have to move it down. There we go. I think that's fine for you guys anyways. All right. So... the reason I'm picking all of this is because, so furbolgs obviously live for the forest, for their tribes. They're normally good. They take care of everything. They talk to animals. They're very isolated. They don't interact with many other people unless necessary. They don't even have names. They just, you know, they know each other. The plants know each other. The world knows them. They are unnecessary for, it's unnecessary for them to refer to each other as anything. Especially because they spend most of their time in the forest. They're tricksy, they do things, and they can be brutal, trying to get people out of their forests. Now, I'm also going Primeval Guardian, which is, I lived in an old forest, an elder forest, a forest of, this is not really good mood music. Let's just put it that way. Let's go back to, this is called Fight Till the End, by the way. In case you were curious. We're going to go back to the beginning though. All right. So Primeval Guardian means that I was part of like a very important old forest that was loved and cared for a very long time, probably by my people, by the Furbolg. And we probably lived deep in the forest, and as humans and dwarves and elves became, mostly humans, started to encroach, you know, build up, create in their quick, unbelievably paced creation because of their short-lived lives. If you read this PHP, it's one of the character traits or the things that say that. So I feel like I just heard something over here. I did hear something over here. Is there anything I need to know? Oh, I already read that. I have read that. All right. So as a human started creating things, as you know, humans do, they probably started cutting down more and more of the forest and getting, you know, of the newer forest, because, you know, you expand out, not in. So as they started cutting down more and more of the forest and we were unable to do much, we probably settled in the middle of, you know, closest to our most beloved old tree. If you want to imagine sort of like the idea of Avatar, where there's this huge old willow that is the oldest tree that exists. and it is revered by the people. It's sort of like that. And so this Furbolg, they more and more congregated towards this large tree, the important tree, sort of like the great tree, I think, in the high forest. And as their forest, their ability to do anything got closer and closer because there were just more people, maybe bad leadership decisions made at the beginning when humans started to encroach on the area and cut things down. Maybe it started off as a peaceful encounter where they only took what they needed, and soon the greed overtook the humans and they started cutting down more and more, and by that time there were just too many, and we were unable to really do anything except just sort of hold a stronghold, I guess. They just encroach on our area until the edges of our elder forest were held, and that because we had spent so much time building it up, we had a stronghold essentially where they could just not pass anymore. But then, advancements happen in the world, and the humans we got bad humans, or bad elves. We got bad civilization. People who wanted our things. They knew it was old. They knew it was something coveted. And whenever there's something rare and coveted, that means the demand might be low and the supply might be low, but whoever demands it, it means they're going to get a lot of money off of that. So instead of caring for the environment as the Furbolgs do, the humans, or the evils, the bad people, came and they demolished everything in their path to get to the great tree. And they took it. They took it with their advanced techniques, with their advanced abilities, their huge amount of numbers. And while Furbolgs are strong and they were able to do so much and it was their forest, they were unable to defeat these humans. And they were unable to protect their tree, the great tree, the one that has served them the entire time, the tree that was their tribe, And it'll probably be my last name it'll probably be my last name, whatever I end up calling that tree. Though I'd never use it because I think it's just a great shame at that point. And my character, I want my character to be around like, where's my age? I want my character to be about 225. Damn you. Damn you, magic. With their greater technology, greater numbers is mostly it, but their greater technology and magical technology, and the fact that they just had more firepower than we did. So my character's gonna be around, I think they live until they're 500, right? And they are adults at age 30. I want my character to have lived a little bit. So let's say that all of this happened, the destruction of the homeland happened in I wanted to have been a little bit like just weathered and just like beaten down sort of character. Let's say it was around age 150. Does that sound about? I think 150 sounds good. So around 150 is when this character's home, the thing it had known for 150 years and it had protected and learned and garnered its energy from, was destroyed. And with the destruction and the harvesting of this old tree, a lot of its tribe is dead. There's no nicer way to put it. They're dead. The fact that they made it to the tree meant that they had failed, and they would do anything in their power to save their forest. And if they failed, that means they've given their life for their tree and still failed, which I think is absolutely tragic. But I think it means something that my character was alive, and lived to see another day at 150. Because that means I knew some shit at 150. You're not a child then. Whether my character ran or not. I'm not 100% sure how I want to go about that. But what I do know is that my character did fight. My character did absolutely fight for its right to party. Now, fight for his people, for their home, you know, for the beasts and the plants it was friends with, you know. It fought for the creeks and the rivers that ran through. It fought for all of these things. And that means they fought valiantly, you know. They fought hoping to give their lives, but unfortunately did not. So another thing that I really want my character... I want his home to be demolished. Let me just... Their name. I keep saying he. It's not a he. I saw the picture. I don't want them to have a gender. I don't think gender really matters when it comes to furballs. That's just like not... They don't even care about their names. What makes you think they care about their genders, you know? Their sex genders. Like, they have sex, but they don't really care about their gender identification. So I think I want them to be gender neutral. In me, for a practice in remembering to use gender neutral pronouns, because I'm so bad at it. I try so hard and I'm just so awful at it. Oh, this is a Spotify ad. I don't care about this ad. Free promos, I guess. So I want them to come out of this scarred and burned. So I want to imagine that they came, they conquered, and they took the evil people. And so when on their way out, they had no desire for anything else. And as a trophy or just to be evil or whatever, to show that really they only wanted one thing and they weren't even thinking to the future of the fact that these are all trees that they could harvest for lumber. They were greedy and wanted one thing, and they got that one thing, and as revenge for the losses they took, I want them to have burned the forest. I want on the way out that they took torches and they lit it aflame. So anybody who they didn't kill would be killed. Just so it would scar the land. 1. 2, there's no way for my character to go back. I mean, they could, but I mean... And 3, so anyone who was still there would be either burned to a crisp or they would be smoked out. So I think those are the 2 things that happen. Oh, how about this? So I think my character would... in surviving the fight, but being, you know, injured very severely, made one valiant effort at after seeing, you know, gathered back the energy after seeing, you know, it's basically God, you know, it's mortal God destroyed, and whatever thing it was, maybe it was an important tree, maybe there was something magical inside of it and they wanted the magic thing and they took the magic thing and that's why they left, because I can't imagine it's that quick to cut down any tree, let alone such an old huge one. It's like, I have to imagine it's like 3 sequoias, you know, red sequoias just placed next to each other and being one tree. But I have to keep checking my phone. My parents are out of the house, and I need to know if they need me for anything. Yeah, maybe there was something inside the tree that made it so old and so reverent. Maybe that's the thing, and maybe that's what they took. That would make this timeline a little bit more significant. So as you know, they began to raise the forest. Maybe my character, you know, at one last ditch effort after seeing all his friends, family, loved ones, both beasts and plant and not, being destroyed, and seeing that carnage, goes and makes one last ditch effort to murder somebody, you know, like it brought out a really dark part of them, seeing all of that, a part of us that that never gets to see light of day, something that never gets nurtured, something that never is seen. But when it comes out, I think it's all encompassing. A very dark part came out of them at seeing all of that, and it broke and opened something, and they went and tried to destroy I guess the retreating party, and got caught in the crossfire, maybe took some people down, who knows, and but in the process, was scarred by the fire, and had the unfortunate task of surviving the ordeal. So that's a very cheery story. Very cheery. So that's sort of where I'm going with it. And I realized a little bit ago that I didn't write my ideal bonds or flaws. So here they are. My ideal is going to be, no, where is it? In life as in war, the stronger force wins. I don't really see that as evil, but I guess D&D 5e has a very weird system in dealing with good and evil. Let's see, let's erase that. Let's move that down a little bit. All right, Bond, James Bond. Never watched that movie, any of them. I know, what a heathen. So bonds are, I would still lay down my life for the people I served with. 2, someone saved my life on the battlefield. To this day, I will never leave a friend behind. 3, my honor is my life. Lol. 4, I'll never forget the crushing defeat my company suffered or the enemies who dealt it, which I think it's going to be that one. 5, those who fight beside me are those worth dying for. No. 6, I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. No. It's going to be, I'll never forget the crushing defeat my company suffered or the enemies who dealt it. It's this one. Boop, 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 boop. All right. And flaws. This is the harder one for me, picking the flaw for this character. So flaw. The monstrous enemy we faced in battle still leaves me quivering with fear. I have little respect for anyone who is not a proven warrior. I made a terrible mistake in battle, cost many lives, and I would do anything to keep that mistake secret. My hatred of my enemies is blind and unreasoning. I obey the law, even if the law causes misery. I'd rather eat my armor than admit I'm wrong. I think I'm going to go with I made a terrible mistake. And I think I'll twist that one a little bit, just so it's a little bit more on point. Though it is. And maybe that's why they're still alive. Honestly, it's all a little bit wishy-washy, the backstory for this character. Let's see. So I think that's all good. I didn't pick... I mean, I pretty much talked about it, what the Furbolg, the reason why it left home is. And it's because its homeland was destroyed, razed to the ground by the evil around him. Clan slain by outcast force. No. Nope. Home. No. But no. So if you're curious and you're not watching, you're only listening. So Furbolg adventurers, the reason for adventuring are 1, outcast for murder. 2, outcast for severely damaging home territory. 3, clan slain by invading humanoids. 4, clan slain by a dragon or demon. 5, separated from the tribe and lost. 6, homeland destroyed by natural disaster. 7, personal quest ordained by omens. 8, dispatched by quest. I didn't even think about that. I did it in the last second. That why would humanoids attack this? What if humanoids did do that? They got greedy. However, the thing that took the thing from the tree or destroyed the tree and destroyed everything, because humans would probably, or like people who are coveting something, they probably want the things in the forest to not be destroyed. But if it's a demon can give less. They don't care about monetary possession in the human world. Who cares? What they want is to cause suffering. And if somebody wronged them, they wouldn't care what happened. That's an interesting thought. Where would a Furbolg encounter a demon? Why was there a demon? Maybe somebody made a mistake that cost the lives of many and they'll never forget what it was. I'm just saying. It could be a thing. Who knows? I'd have to think about it. I think that's a very interesting idea. And I think it really goes with the dark side of the moon. Where would I... Well, let's put this over here, actually. Let's put it in bio. Start right here. Clan slain by dragon or demon. It's not going to be a dragon. It's going to be a demon. See, and this is... I do so much better just talking things out. I realize things a lot more quickly. So the nice thing about Ranger is that... Or bad thing. You know, it depends which way you're looking at it. You don't get any spells first level, so I don't really have to think about that. This makes my figuring this out a little bit easier. My favorite enemy, it's not going to be beasts, obviously. It doesn't matter how awful things were. I'm not going to go beasts. I don't think it's going to be Fae. I think we would be friends with Fae. Undead, monstrosities, and humanoids. I don't think it's going to be humanoids. Although, as OP as that is, I don't think I'm going to go with monstrosities. And I don't think I've ever in my life gone up against a monstrosity. I don't even know what that means. Hold up. Let's go over here. Let's pop in monstrosity. Monstrosity. What time is it? I have a game at 8:30. 7:30, sorry. I have 2 hours. All right. Monstrosity D&D. D&D. Monsters by type. Thank you. You're so kind. Much appreciate. Aberrations? Literally 5 things are aberrations. Lol. At least on this list. Beasts, I'm not going to do beasts. I love beasts. Celestials? Nope. Constructs? Nope. Dragons? Doesn't matter. Elemental? Doesn't matter. Fae? A blink dog. A green hag. A sea hag. A sprite. A satyr. And a dryad. A fiend demon. I think I'm honestly going to go fiend later on. Humanoid. Humanoid. This is actually a really nice list. I should probably pick that. Monstrosities. Oh, wow. Holy shit. Oh, my God. All right. Oh, and it keeps on going. The Tarrasque is a fucking... Holy shit. What was the other thing? Undead. Well, correct. I think I want to go... again, never gone up against a monstrosity, but a lot of these look very, very cool. And I would just, in general, like to know more about these guys. Although, I don't think any of these... Maybe a warg I would go up against. But other than that, I don't think I've ever done anything like this. Obviously, Kraken and a Tarrasque, never going to happen, but... A plant, an awakened shrub, awakened tree. I think that's amazing. Undead. Well, again, very cool. I think all higher level and not things I really care for. Ghosts, ghouls, liches. A minotaur skeleton. Holy fuck. A warhorse skeleton. Oof. Ooh. I think I'm going to go monstrosity. I think monstrosity is going to be my my level 1. Anybody in here with me? Tigre's in here with me. So I'm going to go monstrosity. Let's add class. Favorite enemy. Favorite enemy. I misspelled it. No, I didn't. Source type. Ranger. 1. Monstrosity. I'm going to fill this all out later. All right, monstrosity. Monstrosity. Oh, no, went too far. Monstrosity. All right. Cool. That's actually really cool the way it looks. I'm not really a big fan of this font. I really hate it when they change font like this. It's one of my biggest pet peeves in anything. Is when there's like 3 different fonts on anything. Like I'll give you 2, but like this is just ridiculous. All right, so we have that phase spider. God, that sounds so cool. We're going to go with monstrosities, though. Oh man. Is there anything else in here? Oh, name. Okay, so obviously I'm gonna be a mercenary, so my life after the fact is going to be that I lost a purpose, but a dark part of myself unlocked. A lot of anger in this character that has mellowed out over the years with this, but left. Although monetary things never a thing of worry about this character, I don't think this character thinks he can ever go back anywhere. I don't think they can, god damn it, they can go back into a forest and protect anything, because I don't think they can. No matter how strong they get, I don't think they are able to ever believe that it's worth it anymore. That everybody he knew is now dead because of this tree. And it's not worth it. Them having to live with the weight of losing its people, I think it's too great for this character. And I don't think they care anymore. I think there's not much this character cares about anymore. But what this character does want is that it feels powerless. This character lost everything and was unable to protect its land, and even worse, they survived. They survived even when they self-sacrificed, even when they kamikazed the party that attacked their town, their area. They were unable to die. And now they live with the scars of that life. So this character doesn't give a fuck. This character wants power. It wants to have that tangible thing now to show I'm not weak. I'm not somebody. I survived, and there has to be a reason I survived, and I'm going to live long enough to know what that is. Nothing phases me anymore. I can stare down the hellhound with ease, you know, because I've seen hell just in general. So this character has gone, and as a soldier, and they only have one skill, and that is how to fight. It is how to fight, and after killing, they know how to kill. After it just being theory for so long, this is what they do now. What if it's a demon? What if it was a party for that fought for demons? You know, like, what if that's a thing? What if that's something that comes into fruition, that my character doesn't know that it was a demon, and only thinks it was the greed of these humans that took it away, and that it was these humans. Oh man, what are those shapeshifters? There's so many ways this can go, which is why I don't want to put too much detail into it. I just want the fact that my character realizes that it was death that came and attacked its land and left only that in its wake, and 2, that its home is now destroyed. All right, so they went out, and with their stilted common and elvish and just a destroyed mind and body, or scarred body, a destroyed mind and scarred body, was able to find work in the people's world as a mercenary, not an adventurer, because that, again, I don't think they had it in them at that point in their life to go anywhere and relocate. I think they just wanted to put their mind on something else and think of something else and do something that made them feel like they had power again, you know? So they went into the mercenary life, and in the mercenary life, I think they found a little bit of purpose, though an unfulfilled purpose. They found a sort of power, but not much. And with it came wealth. With power came wealth, and while it still, money means very little to this furbolg, this person, I think it is representation of their power. That, you know, sometimes their imposing person Because sometimes they're not themselves. Sometimes they're not furbolgs. You know, they disguise themselves. And how else are they going to describe their position in life, but if not with wealth? So I think they went into it, and they joined eventually were able to join a mercantile job. That's not what it is. What is it? They were just able to find an outfit where they were able to be sellswords. Whether it was with the Zentara, it's not with the Zentara, but like one of these guys. I think I chose the Blood Axes. The Blood Axes is who they were attached with. So I think I'm gonna go here. I don't know where Sundabar is, but honestly, this person has lived a very long time and has been on their own for a very long time. So we're gonna go with the Blood Axes. So 2 centuries ago. I was alive 2 centuries ago. They were alive 2 centuries ago. So yes. And yeah, but every member is I'll read it for you for those of you again listening and not reading. The Blood Axes, founded in Sundabar nearly 2 centuries ago. The Blood Axes were originally a group of dwarven outcasts from their clan for crimes against the teachings of Moradin Soulforger. They began hiring out as mercenaries to whoever in the north would pay them. Since then, the mercenary company has broadened its membership to other races, but every member is an exile, criminal, or misfit of some sort looking for a fresh start and a new family among the bold Blood Axes. Now, why did they leave the Blood Axes? I don't know. Probably because they just felt stilted. Our character just felt stilted, and like there was more in the world for them rather than just doing Blood Axes. I think they're in the position now where they're able to go to different places for reasons other than to just murder somebody. I think they're in the position now where they can head out and destroy and seize the day, so to say. You know, it's been 75 years. And I think they feel like not moving on, because I don't think they'll I don't think they will ever really be able to move on. But, you know. So that's where we are. Blood Axes. So they used to be part of the Blood Axes, and now they're with the company. They've been with the company for a little bit. So that moves us on to our next part of this. So character class and alignment. This is from the campaign guide. Character class and alignment should fit within the West Sea Trading Company's ideals. For example, a lawful good character or an overly chaotic character would likely never join the West Sea Trading Company, or the WSTC. They may even be actively fighting against them, perhaps. Down the line, there may be adventures for good aligned characters that pit them against the WSTC and its members, but these will not be viable choices within the Dark Tide campaign. 1. Knowing that becoming a company member requires you to tie up all loose ends, grudges and vendettas, past loyalties, etc. What part of your past was the hardest for you to resolve or let go? The Blood Axes. What aspect of your personality led you to feel that the company values and structure would be a good fit for you? Power. Wealth. What talent or ability did the company leadership see in you that led them to extending membership? Probably the dead in the dead in my eyes. Ruthlessness and getting the job done. Always getting the job done no matter what. I think that's a very valuable skill, and always finding a way. Those are things that, you know, people, job interviewers are looking for. Let's see. What hidden or obvious flaw or characteristic do you think would cause you the most problems within the ranks? Probably not having a more creative option other than killing people. I think it would be probably like the PTSD of being inside a forest. Seeing the ghosts of the fallen, always thinking, always needing more, I want to be the very best. What else? What flaw would I have? I guess maybe the fact that my character will always hold what happened to them. And if they ever find out who it was that destroyed their land, I don't think they'll be able to do anything but see red, no matter who that person is or what it means. What are my stats? Let's look at my stats again. I'm wise as fuck. I think just that. I think somewhere along that. I think it's gonna be somewhere around there. I can think about that later. And last, considering that you may have been with the company for several months to a year already, have you been involved in any company business or operations of note? Have any of your comrades you cared about already preceded you to the annals via their deaths? I don't think my character would care very much, to be completely honest with you. I don't think death really means much to them anymore. I think that ship has sailed. Several months to a year. Again, my character just gets shit done. That's what they want. You give them a job, they finish job. It's like they're not stupid, but like they don't have much other motivation other than that at the moment. I think they're getting better. I think this character is getting better. Let's see, what else is there that I need to do with you guys? So all the other stuff, again, I'll fill out later because that's just a pain in the ass. Bio, I've already talked about it. I've already done that. There's one other thing I think that I'm forgetting, and I thought about it and I forgot it immediately. There's one other thing and I completely forgot about it already. Oh no. Oh, the name. Of course, the name. How can I forget the name? So the name of this character. So again, they're named by people around them. They don't care much for name. There's no power in the name for this character. And so they usually are named things that are traits about them. So one of my favorite vines in the world is a vine about it's a vine, it's a Christmas vine, believe it or not, and it's about this guy, and he's like, it's like Jesus, right? And the three kings are giving them the gift. So it's like, I'm giving you frankincense, here is gold. And then the last guy's like, I'm giving you myrrh. And he's like, thank you. Murder, takes off his hood. Judas, no. You know, like, that's my favorite vine, one of my favorite vines in the world. It's just so good. I'll link it down. I won't link it down below. This is in Talking with PB. So I want to name this character Myrrh. I think it's a gender neutral name. And I think it really, you know, it can mean other things. It can mean other things. It doesn't have to mean murder. But it is short for murder. At the moment, I think it can mean other things. So I think that is all I'm going to do today. But I think I made pretty good headway. So I would like to thank you guys for watching. I truly, really appreciate it. If you guys have any other ideas, feel free to put them down below. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to be nice to each other. Don't forget to be compassionate. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.